make you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out.
Hi, welcome back to my channel According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we doing today? Well, first I would like to thank Cricut for sponsoring this video. It is 2022 and I really need to organize my kitchen, and I think that making labels will help me declutter. So if you'd like to see everything I make sure you stay tuned. Today, I am so excited to be using my Cricut Joy to make these labels to help me organize my kitchen. Cricut is a smart cutting machine that allows you to create personalized projects with hundreds of materials like vinyl, cardstock, iron-on, and so much more. So let's take a look at some before pictures, and let me show you why I need to really organize my kitchen. You can see here underneath my sink, I have so many cleaning supplies, and right here you can also tell that some of them might have leaked out. Over here I just have my soap sitting here, and this is our coffee station, and you can see I just have some things strewn about. And I think one of our biggest problems is just putting some of our everyday snacks right there on the counter. So I am going to use my Cricut Joy to make labels for these everyday items that are causing clutter in my kitchen. So for the first project, I'm going to use these tins from the Target dollar spot. They're $5, you get 2 in the pack, measuring the front just to make sure that my label will fit. I went right here in Cricut Design Space. I love Cricut Design Space. I find it so easy to use, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. I went into the shapes and I found one that looked like a pretty cool looking label. I unlocked it and spread it out a bit. And now I just duplicated it because I am making 2 labels for each of the bins. Okay, so now I am going up into the fonts, and I found one that was a typewriter font, and I wrote out the word coffee. And I will just duplicate that as well, and I will make the word underneath it sweetener, but I'm going to size it down a bit. I'm going to center it right here, and you can see I did the same thing with the second one, and I wrote out pantry goods. But I do want these written and not cut, so I just highlight those and go to the pen at the top, click it, and then I just attach everything. So I just hit the make it button, and now I'm getting my smart labels ready. The first one I'm using is a writable parchment paper with an adhesive back. I really love all of the Cricut Smart products because you don't even need to use a mat. You could just stick it right the way it is right into your machine, and it is ready to go. So the first thing it's telling me to do is to make sure I had the pen inserted into the machine. So I did take out the cutting tool, and you can see here it is just writing away, and it is writing pantry goods and coffee sweetener. And you can see here that part is done. So it is telling me now insert your cutting tool. So easy, it pops right in and then just snaps closed. And it really walks you through every step. So right now, before I attach my label, I really like to put on some rubbing alcohol, so if there's any oils or anything like that, that my labels adhere nicely. So with this label, I am just peeling it off since it is a parchment paper, and I'm lining it up on my tin, and I'm just laying it down gently before I smooth it all out until I'm sure this is where I would like it to go. Now I'm just going to put this wooden lid on, and I will put the label on the next one. And these look so cute. I love them so much, and it's really going to organize my coffee station. Let's take a look.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand.
Moving on to project number 2. The first thing I'm going to do is take this salt and pepper shaker set from Ross for $5.99. Such a great deal. And I'm going right here in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to find a leaf in their images section. And there are so many to choose from. And I'm just going to size this leaf down a bit. So if you are not familiar with Cricut Design Space, it is a free software program that does come with your machine. You're able to select an image or a project that's already made for you, and then Cricut Design Space will send it to the machine to cut. Like I said before, I do find it really easy to use. I think if you just play around with it, you'd be really surprised what you can figure out. I literally went on here and I was so nervous to try it out at first. And after playing with it for an hour or so, I felt really comfortable just like navigating through the space. And I was able to create really awesome vinyl decals. And so, yeah, I really love Cricut Design Space. A lot of people ask me what I love about my Cricut Joy, and I'll tell you, I love that it's small. I love that it's lightweight. I love that I can move it anywhere around my house to craft. As you can see here, I brought it right to my kitchen where I'm making my labels anyway. If I want to bring it to school with me, I can make vinyl decals there. So for it being so portable, that is one of the main reasons I love it. I already told you about the smart products and how you don't need to use a mat for those, and they're just so easy to use, but it does cut over 30 different types of material, and that includes the smart vinyl, iron-ons, infusible ink sheets, and just so much more. So right here you can see I am weeding out any extra vinyl, and that means you're just taking away anything that shouldn't be there and leaving what is left over that you're going to apply to your piece. Next, I'm going to apply my transfer tape, and I will just use my scraper to help burnish my label, and that will just help the vinyl adhere to the tape. Now I'm going to get my salt and pepper shakers ready by taking this rubbing alcohol again and just cleaning them off just to make sure there's no oils on them. And now I'm ready to apply my vinyl. Again, one more little scrape just to make sure that's ready to go. And you can see everything's in the right place. And you can see I made the P white so it stands out against the pepper black background, and the salt label was actually black, so it stood out against the white salt. And you can see here I am just going to apply it right here on the front. It's super easy and it sticks really nicely to glass. And you can just see I'm smoothing it down with my finger, and then I'll just go over it with my scraper a bit just to make sure that vinyl is down before I pull off the transfer tape. And these look so cute. I love them so much. And I will show you how they look in my space.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
Moving on to label number 3. The first thing I want to do is I want to go into Cricut Design Space and show you right here up here in the categories. If you go to the Cricut Joy Smart Labels, there are so many labels that are already done for you. And if you click on one of those squares, it will give you directions and what materials you would need. And it's just nice because it's already done for you. But I'm going to go back to my space and just show you, if I go into shapes, there are so many shapes I can use to make my own labels as well. And right here are 3 that I really liked. If you just unlock the bottom here and just drag it out, you can create any size or shape label that you need. And I'm just going to type in salty. This is going to be for my next label, and I like the typewriter font, so that's what I'm going to put right here. I'm going to center it, and after I attach it, you can see I will go over here and slice it. I'll just delete these other words here, and I also made one that said sweet. These are glass jars I got from the Target dollar spot. You get 2 of them for $5, and I thought it would be a really cute way to organize some of my snacks. You could see here that it just literally walks me right through what I need to do next, and I just love that I don't really have to think about it, and it is really easy to use. Now I'm going to take that rubbing alcohol and just clean it off again, just taking out my vinyl, and now I'm going to cut around what has cut on my machine. Just taking off the outer edge, and you can see that both pieces are there. Well, it is hard to see white on white. And now I'm just taking my scissors and just trimming it up a bit so they're easier to handle. And now I'm just going to take my weeder and just remove any of the letters inside. I want those to be hollowed out so that you can see the snacks behind it. And I'm just going to finish that out. Now taking my transfer tape, I will lay that on top of both of my labels and get them ready to put on the jars. I'm just taking my scraper and burnishing the labels. I do the front and the back, and that makes sure that it adheres as nicely as it can. Right here you can see I'm starting with the sweet label, and I'm just lining it up straight as I can. I use my ruler whenever I can just to make sure that it is on there straight. Now I am moving on to the salty one. I like to use my weeding tool if I notice any of the letters pulling up with it, and that just helps me just to make sure everything stays down. I lined them up, and then I just press them down firm so that they don't come up. And just pulling off the transfer tape once I liked where they were. And these are done. I absolutely love how they turned out. I hope you do too.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder.
Up, label number 4. So the first thing I am doing, I'm going right here in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to go into shapes. I'm going to make a square. I'm going to actually make it white because my labels are going to be white, and I wrote hand soap. And you can see here I went into the fonts. I found one I liked, but I made sure that it said writing because I knew that I was using a writable label. And then I went in and I wrote natural, and I made that into more of a script font. I did ungroup the letters so that I can move them closer together, and I will size that down. I'm going to put this right here at the bottom, and now I'm going to look for a leaf image, but I made sure I have the writing checked so that I want my machine to actually write the leaf and not cut the leaf. So I have 2 here that I really like, and I'm just going to size those down. I end up going with this rounded one, and I'm just putting that in place. I will center this, and I will just make sure all of those say pen so that I know that that will be written on and not cut out. I will just remove the other leaf here, and now I'm getting my writable smart vinyl, and these are the 2 soap pumps that I got from Target that I'm going to put them on. I have also another label there that I made that says hand lotion, and I use like a little floral drawing as well. Now I'm going to insert my pen. It tells me to do it. It really walks you through. Once I inserted my pen, I'm going to insert the vinyl into the machine, and it is just going to draw away, and I will show you here in a second. I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up, just how neat it looks when it's drawing. You can see right now it's on the script lettering. It's just so neat. And once that writing part is done, it will tell you now insert the cutting tool, and I just snap that in, and I will let the machine now cut around the outside of each of those labels. Now I'm going to take my scissor just to make it more manageable, and I cut out those labels a little bit closer, and you can see how cute they turned out. I love them so much. Again, using my rubbing alcohol just to clean those up. And then I will just peel off these labels by hand. You don't even need transfer tape because there's nothing that you cut, and you just are going to lay them right on the front, lining them up to get to be about the same height as close as possible. And they look so cute. I really do love them so much. I love the different fonts on them along with the little images. And now I'm going to take this tray that I also got at Target, and I'm going to take these really cool hand pumps, and I will put those on here and then place this whole thing next to my kitchen sink. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Say something like you love me and make my day, like you always do, like you always do. Hold my hand and look me in the eye so I can tell you how I feel, tell you how I feel. Every day something new. If I spend it with you, with you, with you. Oh, I want you right now, and I need you right now, you right now. My world is spinning round, round, around. Oh, I want you now, now, now. My world is spinning round, round, round. And I want you now, and I want you now, and I want you now.
Last up, we have label number 5. So what I did was I went into Cricut Design Space, and I just found an already made label that said cleaning, and I wanted to find one similar, and I found one that said utility, and that's all I did for this. And I just sized them to the size that I needed. I'm going to use these wire crates that I got from Tuesday Morning when they were going out of business, and these wooden keychains from Michael's. They were on like $1 or $2, along with this smart vinyl. The color is coffee, and I love it. And now I'm just going to take my vinyl, put it right here into my machine, and let it cut away. Now I'll just take my scissors and cut around each of those labels, and I will weed out any of the excess vinyl. So as I'm pulling the vinyl away, the one letter started coming up a little bit, but I just take the really pointy tip of that weeder and just get that letter to go right back in place, and then I will just pat it down. And now I'm just cutting off any of the extra backing so that it's easier to work with, and I can get the transfer tape right on top. These wooden keychains I thought would be really cute to hang from the wire crates, and that way it just would look really neat inside of my cabinet. And I actually love how they ended up looking at the end, even though that's not what they were intended for in the first place. I like using things that you normally wouldn't use and just thinking outside of the box. And you can see here I just put the vinyl decal right there on that wooden tag, and I will do the same for the other one. And once again, I'm going to use my scraper just to make sure everything's in place. They look so cute. Now let's take a look how I organized right under my sink.
Looking up at a tree, I remember how it started. I was lost in a dream when the fire in my heart said an open rose. I've already found sunlight, the feeling grows, and anything sounds alright. I'm breaking loose, living in the moment in my own balloon. This year I'm going to start a new chapter. Ignore the tears and only write down the laughter. An open rose. I've already found sunlight, the feeling grows.
So here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video because we get to recap everything we just made. So the first thing we made are these labels for the coffee sweetener and pantry goods. I did make them out of the adhesive back parchment paper. I can't get these wet, but I do plan on using dry goods in here, and I just love how they turned out. Next up were the salt and pepper shakers. They look so cute. I love the little leaves on there. I love that I used the white vinyl and the black vinyl. So cute, and just love, love, love. Next up were the sweet and salty snack containers. This looks so much cuter than having bags of food laying there on my counter. It just clutters everything, and this looks just so much more organized. I love them. Next up were the hand soap and hand lotion labels. Love this as well. It just looks so much nicer than just putting a regular old plastic bottle right there next to your sink, and those labels just turned out so cute. And last up, I really like the organization underneath the sink. I like that I used a Dollar Tree floor mat to help with any spills down there, and these labels look really cute too. And again, I'd like to thank Cricut for sponsoring this video. I will link everything in the description box below. So that's it, that's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you have not checked me out at Instagram over at Cat Luna Designs, please do so. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you did. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome. I can't because you're moving around now. I'm looking at you. Hi, welcome. Oh, wait, it's making so much noise. Okay, it's recording, so. And if you'd like to know how. So, if you want to stick around and see everything that I do, I was so close.